Welcome to GatorsZone.com. I'm Chris Harry alongside Scott Carter. The Gators were off last weekend while the Tennessee Volunteers went to Oregon and had it handed to them 59-14. In come the Volunteers into the swamp this weekend. Florida has won 8 straight in the series. SEC opener for both teams. What can we say about this game right here?
Well, the fact you just said it's the SEC opener, I mean, that's a big point in itself. Both teams, looking forward to getting off conference play. This is a rivalry that really was intense in the 90s. Florida has won 8 in a row, so the Gators obviously have the upper hand in this rivalry in recent years. But anytime Tennessee comes down here, it's going to be a sold-out stadium. The fans are going to be into it. I expect that kind of environment out in the swamp on Saturday. And, it will be an interesting matchup. Two teams who went on the road after opening at home, and they kind of, had a tough tripped a little bit on the road, and here they are back against each other in open conference play.
Florida went to Knoxville last year and had something of a breakout game offensively, especially Jeff Driscoll, the quarterback. They won 37-20 up there, but this is an entirely different Volunteers team with a new coach in Butch Jones by way of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Butch Jones came in. I mean, obviously Tennessee has fallen on some hard times in recent years. Derek Dooley, after 3 years, was let go, and Butch Jones comes in. He's more of an offensive coach, but obviously they've made some defensive adjustments. And Florida, it was kind of a breakout game last year. They were coming off that big win at Texas A&M, but Driscoll was asked to do more in the Tennessee game. Obviously, a lot of Gator fans still remember Trey Burton's 80-yard run, and then Frankie Hammond's catch there late in the fourth quarter that kind of iced the game for the Gators. It was a big win for them, and kind of parlayed them onto some bigger things later in the season. But it is going to be interesting to see, anytime a new coach comes in like Butch Jones, he's going to add some new wrinkles. And I'm sure Florida will see some of those, and the Gators are preparing.
Offensively, Tennessee may go with 2 quarterbacks as they haven't really settled on one or the other right now.
Yeah, just all reports out of Knoxville this week seem to indicate that, Justin Worley or Nathan Peterson, both of those guys have an opportunity to play. And, they seem to be similar. Butch Jones likes to run an up-tempo offense, kind of like what they faced last week at Oregon. They took a lead out there, 7-0, then Oregon reeled off 59 straight points. I don't think Tennessee's offense is quite functioning at that level yet, but something the Gators are, taking note of on defense, that, they may face some up-tempo from the Vols, and we'll see how that plays out on Saturday.
Defensively, there's some changes for the Gators back there. Tennessee's going to have some problems probably moving the ball against the Gators.
Yeah, I mean, the Gators defense comes in leading the SEC. I mean, they've looked really good in the first 2 games against Toledo and Miami, and they did their part in Miami. Unfortunately, the turnovers really cost Florida. But just this week, yesterday, talking to DJ Durkin, I mean, he pointed out that he likes the way that unit's playing. He highlighted a couple of young guys. Vernon Hargraves, a true freshman, 2 picks in his first 2 games. Obviously, they'll have Antonio Morrison back more into the mix. He played his first game down at Miami, and now he's practiced for 2 weeks. So I'm sure he'll be more in tune with what they're doing defensively. And then Dominique Easley up front is where it starts. He had a great game down at Miami, and he's a guy that Tennessee's offensive line, which Muschamp said earlier this week, is probably the best one they're going to face all year. They'll have to be dealing with Dominique Easley up front.
Something of a trend in this series dating to 1990 when the 2 teams started playing back and forth annually. The team that has rushed for the most yardage has won 21 of the last 23. Obviously, the Gators want to run the ball. They did not run it very well down there in Miami. Hopefully, with 2 weeks now, Matt Jones is getting a little bit more back in the flow of things.
Yeah, I think both teams are going to want to establish that run game early. Because if you look at the history with their quarterbacks, neither quarterback has been asked to really take the game and just throw 40 times. But Matt Jones, we saw him at Miami. He admitted even that he wasn't 100%. He had to shake off some rust. So I do expect to see him maybe look a little more fresh against Tennessee with 2 more weeks of practice under his belt. Don't forget about Mac Brown's there. Valdez Showers is a guy. So I would expect to see several Gators get opportunities in the running game.
All right, we'll break this game down afterwards on Saturday. For Scott Carter, I'm Chris Harry. Join us on GatorsZone.com after the game.